Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Bulls Report by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman. We got hot takes coming your guys' way after the Bulls had a very impressive comeback victory versus the New Orleans Pelicans last night. It was a very solid team victory, but overall, a couple players did really stand out to me. So we'll be diving into that game, and then I got 5 hot takes for the Bulls for the remainder of the season coming your guys' way. But first, I am actually curious on this. So I have been thinking about maybe going live on the channel after some of these games, just breaking it down at my apartment right here, and I could hop in the live chat, see what you guys are saying, just kind of go back and forth and chop it up about the game. If that's something that would interest you, just let me know down in the comment section, and we can just dive right into my hot takes following the game yesterday. And I want to start off with two main guys, specifically one though, and that is Ayo Dosunmu. And listen, Ayo Dosunmu, what he did yesterday, especially in that first quarter, was he's shown another part of his game where it's just like you just continuously see the development. Like, we knew him coming out of college. He was an elite two-way player. He was going to be a good guard defender, but the question mark with him was, can he consistently shoot the ball? Can he create looks for others like he did in college? And last night in the first quarter, like, whether the ball was just being swung throughout the offense and he was just stepping into a natural catch and shoot three, or if it was him creating in the offense, he was doing it at an A+ level. I mean, he ended the first quarter last night with around 14 points. And, you know, it's just this whole thing with Ayo that I always get back to is just like, we know what he is defensively. Like, if he can just up his offensive game, even just, 50%, like, he is going to be a tremendous basketball player in this league. And, that's what excites me so much because, yes, even though the Bulls season is not going the way we want, no duh. Like, we are still 3 games below 500. Obviously, this is not what we, wanted to see. But there are guys like Ayo Dosunmu who I really believe, like, he is a confetti guy where it's like I can see him winning a championship, the confetti falling all over him. Like, that's the type of basketball he plays. That's the brand of basketball he plays, is just winning. Like, he's won in college. He's won, even though the Bulls have been a 500 basketball team since he's gotten in here, he just plays a winning brand. And just last night, over the last month, like, he has just continuously impressed me. And it's just sweet seeing his, the offensive side of his game really take that next jump, because I'll tell you what, man, he is very impressive. So my hot take with Ayo Dosunmu and his running mate Coby White is that I think the most improved player of the year competition, I think it's going to come down to those two and Tyrese Maxey. But I do think there are going to be 2 Bulls in the finalist, and that's going to be Ayo and Coby White. Right now, Tyrese Maxey is the favorite, so obviously I have to wait and see on that one. But that's my hot take around those two, kind of riding the juice off what Ayo did last night, man, because he just, again, impressed me over and over again. But Ayo and Coby White, I think they're going to compete for most improved player of the year down the stretch. Another hot take. I think the Bulls are going to make the playoffs. And you may be saying there is no way the Bulls win the play-in tournament this year. Well, I disagree. So, listen, Atlanta Hawks, they're in the 10 spot right now, and it goes 9-10 play each other. Winner of 9-10 plays the loser of 7-8. So, if the Bulls win that 9-10 game, I think they will. They're playing the Hawks. Ayo specifically has always dominated the Atlanta Hawks, so I think that could be an easy win for the Bulls. Then you're going to play either the Magic or you're going to play the Miami Heat, or it depends. The Pacers could be in there as well. But let's just say it is the Magic, because I think that is the most likely option. I think the Bulls got a good chance to win that game. Yes, it would be in Orlando, but bookmakers out west probably put the Magic as like a 5.5 point favorite. And, I would trust DeMar DeRozan a little more than a guy like Banchero. Like, if we're talking best players on the floor, like, I bet you it's going to be more of a toss-up. So, yes, this is a hot take at the time, but don't be shocked if it's Bulls, Boston Celtics, round 1, and somehow we're watching a Bulls 7-game playoff series versus, probably one of the best teams in the league. So that's another hot take. That's number 2 for me, is I actually do think the Bulls should make the playoffs. Number 3, talking about another young gun, Julian Phillips and Dalen Terry. I actually throw Dalen Terry into this too. They need to get more minutes. Both those guys, they just come off the bench and they just bring energy, and it's contagious. Like, I don't know if it's just because they're younger cats in the league, first and second year, but like, they just come in the game and you can feel the energy right away. Whether it's Dalen Terry soaring in for offensive rebounds or Julian Phillips just perfectly running the lane in transition and using his athleticism to get to the bucket. Like, man, those two, they just hop off the bench, give really solid just boost, around them, and it's contagious to the guys on the floor. So I think down the stretch here, I think they should get more minutes, not just because I want to see them develop, but I think it's better for the team. Like, I think the team feeds off it, especially with the injuries to Patrick Williams. You would assume Julian Phillips does get more minutes, but both those guys, Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips, they have actually really impressed me. And number 4 for me, and this isn't really a hot take on what I would do, but just kind of watching the Bulls and seeing like the direction they're going in, I think they are going to extend DeMar DeRozan. I came to this conclusion watching the game last night, just seeing, he is a true leader for this team, and I think the Bulls are just going to want to stick with him. And I don't think, I think the Bulls are going to be looking at next year with Lonzo Ball coming back, with Zach LaVine, with DeMar DeRozan, with Coby White taking that next step, with Ayo and Nikola Vucevic. I think they're going to be thinking we can win this, or win at a high level next season. Whether you agree, disagree, I don't know yet. But I do know is that I'm pretty sure that is what they are thinking. So I think they're going to extend DeMar DeRozan this offseason, probably to a 2-year deal, because let's just say they really did not want to, extend him, obviously. Like, they would have traded him. Like, at least I think they would have. Like, I think they would have been smart enough to trade him at the deadline. Obviously, the Bulls front office just notoriously does not make trades, but I just think they kept him at the deadline with the intention to extend him this offseason. So, expect to see DeMar DeRozan in a Bulls uniform for, years to come. That's just my 4th hot take that I have. And my 5th hot take, and we'll round it out here, is around the Bulls making the playoffs. I think the Bulls are actually going to finish above 500. I was looking at the remaining schedule, and, yes, this Bulls team frustrates me, but they beat bad teams. And I think they're going to continue that the rest of the way because they just naturally play hard right now. And I think if, like, in the NBA, like, modern day game, like, if you just play hard, you are going to win a good amount of games. And that's just what the Bulls have done. And, I think they're going to beat the bad teams, and I think they're going to squeak out a win like they did last night, just shockingly against the New Orleans Pelicans. And I think they're going to end up being above 500, whether that's a game or 2, I don't know, but that's my 5th hot take for this Bulls team. Overall, I just felt good watching the game last night. It just made me happy seeing these young guys just, continuously develop their games. And, obviously I could get on here, I could be negative. I could say, the Bulls are still the 9th seed. We didn't make any moves at the deadline. And I hear it. I'm frustrated about that as well. But I just wanted to still kind of get some positivity out there around this Bulls team because you have these guys working their ass off, improving their game, like Ayo, like Coby White. Let's put our arms around those guys and then, start building for the future. And I think those 2 guys are no doubt cornerstone pieces for any team moving forward, not just the Bulls, because I just feel like they play the game the right way. I'm just excited to see them just, continuously, developing their game. But I do want to make sure before we get on out of here, if you guys watch this whole video, first off, thank you guys so much. Want to start doing more of these, just chop it up, get on here, whenever, and just talk about the Bulls. But make sure you guys are subscribed. If you guys did watch this whole thing, thank you guys so much for watching. Hey, also, if you want those post-game little live reaction videos, let me know that as well. We'll see y'all next time. Go Bulls.